Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you WWC draft recap for the Chicago Beartics, my team, my league that I run as commissioner. This is the team that I'm bringing in for this season to participate with. My music is loud, I'm turning that down. Anyways, we had the 15th pick in the draft. RNGesus did not favor us this time, whereas last time we were the 4th pick in the draft. We are up to 16. The entire draft itself with analysis is up. It went up yesterday. You can go watch the 4 hours of that if you want. You don't have to by any means, but you can. We do have a lot of returning coaches, a lot of new coaches. Still the same format, still the 12 mons per team, 500 free points, 3 Z captains, not 2 this season. Stuff that wasn't banned did get rebanned. Just the first half hour of the draft stream will tell you all the things that were changed. But this is the team we're rocking with. Last year I was so focused on dual weather that's what I was drafting. This time I actually drafted from knowledge that I've learned, what's good, all that, Veil Offensive, that sort of thing. But with the 14th pick, we did grab Mega Charizard X. Now, this is the second league I have Mega Charizard X in after never being able to draft it. I'm super, super happy to use it. Again, I'll say this every time I talk about Charizard X, it is my favorite Pokemon. There is my Charizard X figure that sits on my desk right above my camera when I'm recording. Charizard X is just my favorite mon, but it's also a powerhouse of a Mega Pokemon. I don't have to Mega first turn. Don't know why I'd ever want to not Mega first turn. This thing just sets up D-Dances and sweeps. It does not appreciate rocks. Once it Megas, it doesn't appreciate hazards, but I can take care of hazard control later in the draft. This, to me, is just a solid mon with the Tough Claws ability. Its physical attacks get a 1.2 boost, so you basically get to throw it's either 1.2 or 1.3. If it's 1.3, you basically get Life Orb out of your physical hits. If it's 1.2, you get Expert Belt, but you don't have to have guaranteed hit. Charizard X is, well, yes, it's a pretty standard thing. You just set up and sweep. Basically, you D-Dance and go. I'm going to look at some interesting other sets to bring. But the main goal for Charizard is to set up, sweep, and get out of town, just punching holes. And it gives me my fire, and it gives me my dragon for those 2 cores to start it. Next mon in the draft we grabbed was Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales, to me, again, I love this thing. Everybody knows that I love this thing. Everybody knows that I use this thing all the time. I just realized my lights were really, really bright on me there. I love Alolan Ninetales. This, as far as I'm concerned, unless Alolan Ninetales drops very, very far in a draft that I'm participating in, this will be Alolan Ninetales' last ride for me for a while. I need to move on from Veil Offensive, learn some other things. I need to get better and not just lean on Alolan Ninetales all the time. And plus, people are probably getting bored with me bringing Alolan Ninetales every league I'm in. So I'm going to let Alolan Ninetales go at the end of the season for a little bit. I will come back to it. It's just like the Rain. I haven't gone back to Rain yet, but I will go back to Rain. I will go try a Sand team. It's just, I've been on Alolan Ninetales for about the last, 7-8 months. But that'll change. But for this league, having Alolan Ninetales and Mega Charizard X is a scary Fairy Steel or Fairy Dragon portion of the Fairy Dragon Steel Core. Plus, Mega Charizard X behind Veil setting up will just destroy teams. It is a very, 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 very scary thing to have to prep for, because Alolan Ninetales puts up the screens, and then Charizard can freely D-Dance, and possibly D-Dance a second time for free, and then just go to town. Yes, I am still very, very Rocks weak here. Having Charizard and Ninetales both weak to rocks is not great. It means rocks are very likely to come against me for sure, just to continue to punish their switches and that sort of thing. Then, by the way, this draft does diverge because, and I'll talk when we get to where it diverges, because we did one thing, and then with this league, I allow you free transactions for like 24 to 48 hours post-draft, just to let people reset their teams if they made a mistake during the draft. Let them get a team that they like to take into the draft, and then like Season 1, I think about 10 moves were made in total, and I think in the first 5 minutes of free agency being open, we had 10 moves. I think the total number of moves was something like 50 moves in 48 hours between coaches changing teams and all that. I made a change that I shouldn't have made, and it messed me up, and we'll talk about it when we get to that. But I'm going to skip this because this is battle music, and I don't need battle music. There we go. So, Alolan Ninetales. Round 3. We did get sniped right after Alolan Ninetales, by the way. So round 3, we take Gliscor. Gliscor I was going to take eventually. I wasn't planning to take it round 3. The problem is my round 3 pick immediately went after I selected Alolan Ninetales. Nikki and the Houston Hydreigons took Mimikyu. I was going to put Mimikyu behind screens with Zardex and Ninetales, and that was going to be my nightmarish offensive core. Unfortunately, that didn't work out because Nikki decided to take Mimikyu. That was a snipe that hurt. But we can get past that, and this is where we ended up. So we ended up with I'm getting the draft pulled up here so I can check my snipes off the top of my head. Yeah, I'm just looking for my snipes. Yeah, so also I was gonna take Manaphy. I forgot about that. I was gonna take Manaphy at one point as a setup sweeper behind Veil with Ninetales. It also would serve potentially as a very bulky water for Charizard, because I missed Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash went right after the same round as Alolan Ninetales. Rotom Wash went, so that was another snipe, so I couldn't come back and get that, because I need bulky water to help Charizard, that sort of thing. Anyway, so I lost Manaphy. But yeah, Mimikyu went off the board, and it messed me up. And so then I think I was fine. I'm looking through the draft here. No, okay, so Crimson in round 3 took Zeraora. I was going to have Zeraora for a fast electric type. That got taken down off the board, so then I decided, you know what, we're going to screw the tier 1 for right now. We're going to come back and pick up a tier 1 later in the draft. We'll figure this out. That sort of thing. Continue to get closer to me. Ferrothorn got taken 2 picks before me, so with Ferrothorn going down, that was my grass steel type to finish the fairy steel dragon core, plus Ferrothorn could set me very nice hazards. Unfortunately, I lost it to a rain team, so then we grabbed Gliscor. Gliscor here gives me some hazard control. It has access to Defog and Stealth Rocks, as well as Poison Heal. So I can switch this thing in, take Toxics, which people will try to drop on Charizard to whittle Charizard and weaken it, so Charizard can't set up and just sweep. It'll die to Toxics before it can run through things. Gligar takes that Toxic and then starts healing off of it. Gligar is a really nice mon. It can be both defensive and offensive. I could run a Roost, Toxic Heal, Defog, Stealth Rock, Mono Attack set. I could run a Ice Fang set to hit things that want to come in to avoid EQ. This gives me an EQ block, which Charizard desperately needed, because once Charizard Megas, it's weak to EQs. But Gliscor functions as such a glue to this team for me. I wanted Gliscor, and if I missed Gliscor, I was coming back for Gligar. Definitely wanted Gliscor here, with Ferrothorn, with Zeraora, with the others coming off the board. Just immediately wanted to grab Gliscor. So yeah, Gliscor was the next pick. And Gliscor I'm looking forward to using as well. It's a very nice mon. This is the end of my draft. That stayed the same. These 3 mons are the 3 mons that stayed the same. The other 9 mons that I drafted changed drastically. And how it changed is actually pretty funny. So after free agency opens, Kyurem Black gets dropped. I instantly pick up Kyurem Black because I didn't want the person who had Greninja, Landorus, and Mega Mawile to pick up and they had Zeraora, but they dropped Zeraora for Kyurem Black. I did not want them picking up Kyurem Black on that squad. That squad was way too offensive, and having Kyurem Black would have been super, super bad. That team would have been extremely broken and probably would have just run through everybody like Fizzle did Season 1 until he retired. So I grabbed Kyurem Black, screwed up my entire draft, and then subsequently had to put the pieces back together because when I picked up Kyurem Black, I had drafted Tapu Bulu, and I had Hawlucha on my squad, so I dropped Bulu, which then Savage proceeded to pick up Bulu to give himself the Bulu Heatran core with Terrakion. Very scary core right there. And so I couldn't go back and get Bulu, and it really screwed me up. So now, this is where I ended up after piecing all the pieces back together. I ended up dropping Kyurem Black because I wanted to run Megazord X instead. So, in this whole rebuild, this pick was originally, my 4th pick here, Alakazam, was originally superior. That was before I decided to go Bulu Lucha, because in the middle of the draft I made a change. I was like, oh wait, I could go Bulu Lucha behind Veil. That thing's gonna destroy. I didn't. So instead I drafted Superior, and then when I made the decision, okay, I'm gonna Bulu Lucha, Spies, who I believe had Kyurem Black and then dropped it, wanted Superior for his team. So I traded Superior to him. He drafted Raikou. I traded Raikou to Dragoon for Magnezone, and then I was going to drop Magnezone anyways. And that was after I dropped Bulu and was trying to figure out how to make Kyurem Black Charizard X work, and it could work, I just chose not to. Really messed myself up. So, instead, I have Alakazam as my 4th overall pick. Alakazam is base 120 speed. It was speed that I desperately needed after giving up Raikou. It's 115. Because right now I have Zard at 100, I have Ninetales at 109, and I have Gliscor at 95, so not terrible, but I don't have that 120 and above. I don't have that low range speed. But Alakazam gives me a great mon. Has Inner Focus, so I can take Fake Outs and still hit back. Could run a synchronized set to bounce statuses back, so if I get hit with a status, they're going to get hit with a status. I can't remember, I think it's Magic Guard is the other one, is the other status, to block seeds, like Leech Seeds. I don't remember its other one, but this thing is extremely fast. It's fast, and it hits super hard on the special side. It's just incredibly frail. It will die to Pursuit Trapping, and that's something I am going to have to keep an eye out for. It can very easily be revenge killed, but it gives me the speed I needed, gives me a Psychic type, and just gives me something on the special side besides Ninetales. Now, and I forgot to mention with Gliscor, I could run behind Veil, I could run a Swords Dance sweeper set with Gliscor. Next pick, Umbreon. I'm just looking here to see if there are any snipes that came in between these. I don't believe I got sniped in between Umbreon and Ala. Venomoth, I did get sniped. I lost Venomoth to Torn. I would have loved to have Venomoth behind Veil, but I didn't. So instead, I grabbed Umbreon here. Umbreon is very, very nice in the fact that it's base 65 speed, so it gets me something down low. It can set up with curses. It's a baton pass user, so I can baton pass those curses as long as I don't mind going negative speed on something. It's stupidly bulky. Like, I think it's 130 special defense, 110 defense, 90 or maybe it's 80 HP. It's very defensive. It's a great wish passer, and that's the sole reason I had it. I wanted either Umbreon or Vaporeon for wish pass. That way I could pass into Zard, because Zard's gonna set up Flare Blitz itself to death. That's the problem with Zard, is its biggest nuking move recoils back on it. And so having Umbreon to wish Zard back up is great. Umbreon can also wish up other things. Umbreon gives me a Dark type, so I don't get 6-0'd by Savage again with Necrozma, setting up Calm Mind Store power sets. Umbreon it can Heal Bell, so if people do try it, Toxic Stall is not allowed, but Toxic is allowed to Whittle. And if they Toxic you and you don't switch, that's on you. Or if I Toxic my opponent and they don't switch, that's on them. But you cannot Toxic and then, like, I couldn't toss Toxic onto, say, who's got what? Trying to think of a fat mon that's gonna affect. Spies has a Alomomola. I couldn't toss Toxic onto a Alomomola and then just sit in front of it and wish protect, wish protect, wish protect until it dies. That's not allowed. You can Toxic, you can set up Toxic spikes, you can use it to whittle down. As long as you aren't consistently recovering in front of it, you're fine. So, I can use Umbreon they can use that and take down setup sweepers like Zard, like Magearna, Salazzle could take down Magearna with that sort of thing. Anyways, Heal Bell, so I can heal poisons, keep Charizard healthy, keep Ninetales healthy, that sort of thing. Umbreon's just a really good support mon for me, and that's why I've got it here. Also has pretty good coverage. It has access to Psychic, so it can check fighting types that want to come in on this thing. Plus HP Fire for bug types, which cover its two main weaknesses. Fairy types, HP Poison, but that's not going to be great. Anyways, the very next pick, so because I was 15th, I was one off the wheel. The very next pick is Jolteon. Really, really frustrated me because I really wanted Jolteon. Jolteon would have been that high-end speed, that 130 and above speed that I needed desperately for this team. Because unfortunately, Alakazam is the fastest thing on this team right now. Having Jolteon would have been great. It would be the fast electric type that I needed, and it would have Volt Absorb, which Zard really appreciates. Granted, Gliscor handles that, but having Gliscor, you're threatened by Ice Beam and HP Ice, which Zard kinda takes. Okay. But, the next mon, so, Tier 1's getting extremely picked over. I had just lost Jolteon, and I decided, I gotta grab something out of Tier 1. I don't have a Steel type. I don't have a Grass type. Ferrothorn's gone. I need a Grass type to deal with bulky waters. Since I don't have a good Electric type, I need a Grass type to deal with bulky waters that are going to want to come in and sit in front of Charizard. So I grabbed Kartana. Kartana very easily sets itself up with Beast Boost. It can run Scarfed, it can run Banded, Life Orb, it can be Grassium Z, Bloom Doom, or any Z Crystal really. It's another base 109, so it fits right in that same niche as Ninetales. It does have an issue with HP Fire. It's terrible on the special side. However, HP Fire is kind of Charizard's eats that, so. But that gives me Charizard X, Kartana, and Alolan Ninetales for my Fairy Steel Dragon Core. That is an incredibly scary and an incredibly offensive core for that. And my Fire, Grass, Water core is also mixed in with those three. I just need a Water type at this point to get my very, 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 very scary cores taken care of. So we grabbed Kartana. Running through after Kartana went down, or we picked Kartana. I'm looking here to see. So we did make it all the way back to our next pick without getting sniped. Nidoking. Nidoking is one of those mons that has really pissed me off in the past. It 6-0'd me in PCF. I don't like Nidoking. I'm going to use it because I don't like it. It's a grounded poison type, so I can absorb those T-spikes. It can set T-spikes of its own. It can set rocks. It's another rocker for Gliscor. Sheer Force Life Orb is a great set. It can be Scarfed King. It's a good mon. It's base 85 speed, so it gets me something between Gliscor and Umbreon. Helps fill in the speed tiers a little bit. It's a powerhouse in the right hands. I just got to figure out how to make it a powerhouse. So yeah, that's where Nidoking is. Kartana is one of our Z users. So you have to have a tier 1 or 2 Z user. You have to have a tier 3 and below Z user. And then you can have any Z user after that. And so I made Kartana my first Z user. I forgot to mention that with Kartana. Then looking here, Rhyperior got sniped out from underneath of me. Yes, that would have given me 3 ground types, but Rhyperior and Gliscor combo force my opponent to carry either HP Ice or HP Grass, depending on which one comes. It also would give me another Rocker. It gives me a solid defensive Earthquaker because of that solid Rock ability. Plus, Rhyperior would have been able to set up behind Ninetales' Veil also. A double dance Rhyperior in Veil would be super fun. I really wanted to bring that, but unfortunately I lost Rhyperior. But I think that's the only mon I lost. Yes, it was. So I needed another tier 3. Jolteon was gone. I didn't want to grab Vaporeon, even though I still need a bulky water. I decided to go with Tornadus. Tornadus gives me Prankster. I hate Prankster, but getting Prankster Tailwinds and allowing myself, it's also base 111 speed, so, or I think it's 111, so it's another up above Ninetales, but before Alakazam, so another high mid-tier speed. But Prankster Tailwind, Prankster Defog, Prankster Bulk Up to set itself up. Just that Prankster ability is so good, except when you have a Dark type sitting in front of you, but if I can Prankster a Tailwind off, then Zard can set up very quickly. Get the screens, go into this thing, Prankster up a Tailwind, go into Zard, Swords Dance, sweep. I wouldn't even need the speed because I'd have Tailwind behind me, guaranteeing Zard goes first. And then I just sweep. And so, that's where I kind of grabbed Tornadus. It also gives me a flying type outside of Gliscor, but mainly it's there because of its Prankster ability and its speed tier. So moving on from this, I'm looking to see, I think after this point, the snipes weren't too bad, if any. I was able to draft pretty much what I wanted. Yeah, I don't think I had any snaps. There's my bulky water. Jellicent is extremely bulky water, extremely valuable bulky water in tier 4. Like that's some quality bulk right there. This thing can drop Willows, it can recover, it can just be a defensive wall, it has Curse Body to disable moves. It sits there and it's just annoying. It recovers, it scalds, it willows, and it hexes. And it breaks things down for you. Really, that's why I have Jellicent. It's just a very bulky water, and something that I desperately needed in having that bulky water. Because Zard does not like 2 things. Zard does not like rock users, and Zard does not like bulky waters. Those are the 2 things. Granted, rock user, rock coverage with Earthquake is not a big deal, but bulky waters are a very, very annoying thing for Charizard to have to deal with. I actually don't remember if this thing... Jellicent. I gotta look up Jellicent again, because there was something... I thought there was something else with why I drafted Jellicent, besides it just being stupid bulky. It has Water Absorb, that's why. So not only is it bulky and have the ability to have... It has access to Recover, it also can carry Water Absorb, take those water hits, heal itself up, and then start Will-O-Wisping, or whatever it wants to do after that. So it helps protect Zard. It forces you to be very careful with your water moves as long as Jellicent is there, because the water type move on Zardex may just get absorbed by Jellicent, and then you heal one of my most annoying walls on this team. It also handles rock types very, very nicely, which is very, very much appreciated by Charizard. It pressures Stealth Rock setters and does help Zard. So now we have the two things that Zard does not like: bulky waters and rock types, covered in Kartana and Jellicent. Up next, Vikavolt. This is another of my Z captains. Vikavolt gives me an electric type that I really, really needed. I was missing some electric coverage here. Also gives me another Levitate user, so now Torn, Gliscor, and Vikavolt can all check the EQ abusers for Charizard. Vikavolt also behind Veil could be very, very good in the fact that it set up an agility behind Veil and then just sweep. Vikavolt has a stupidly high special attack set. I think it's 145 base special attack. It is just super, super, super slow. But you set up the agilities and then you drop a nuke with Z Crystal. It does work. It's a very, very nice tier 4 bug type. I really like it, and I'm really excited to try it because I've seen it used in the past and it's done pretty well. So hopefully I can do A Drive proud with Vikavolt. Next round we picked up Kangaskhan. So Kangaskhan gives us Fake Out, and it gives us a Wish Passer besides Umbreon. So if Umbreon has a terrible match, Kangaskhan can come and Wish Pass for me. Plus, all the other Wish Passers are currently sitting on Spies' team. He took Alomomola. And like 2 other Wish Passers. Aromatisse and... I don't remember his 3rd Wish Passer, but he has 3 Wish Passers. So I grabbed Kanga. It gives me another thing in a speed tier that I kind of needed at 90. So it's slower than Gliscor, faster than Nidoking. Just continuing to fill out those speed ranges. But it's basically a Fake Out Wish Passer type of thing. Can set up on its own if it wants to. Does have Scrappy, so I can hit Ghost types. I mean, I could set up Power-Up Punches if I wanted to. Power-Up Punch, Last Resort type of thing. If it gets Last Resort, I don't remember. But anyways, it's basically another Wish Passer for me. And the final mon was Standard Gallade out of Tier 4. This gives me Psychic and Fighting Stab. It gives me Priority and Shadow Sneak. This thing can set up itself behind Veil with Swords Dance. You can give it E-Belt, you can give it a Life Orb. But it can break through rock types as well. It can break through steel types that Zard may struggle slightly with if the steel type is too bulky and I don't have enough D-Dances up. It can help chip those, that sort of thing. So that's the team. Zard through Gallade. Not my best team. I think my original team with Bululucha, Raikou behind Veil, with Charizard X. I think that team might be better than this one, but it is what it is. This is what we're going to rock with for now. We'll see as transactions are made throughout the season if there's anything we need to replace. Some things aren't clicking, but I think this is a very solid team, and I think we can do alright. Quick housekeeping thing as well. I know that I have missed a full week of the series. Smash Let's Go is canceled. I'm going to say that again. I did cancel Let's Go. It's just not... It's not fun for me to play. It's also not doing very well as far as people watching it. People are watching the Draft League content, which I greatly appreciate, and Smash mainly. Let's Go, I think, has had several episodes with no views on it, so I'm letting Let's Go go. I mean, I haven't even touched it since I finished recording for it back in December to get me up until I got back. But Smash is going to be recorded. I'm actually going to record a couple episodes of Smash tonight to get them up for this week. Mario Party, I haven't heard from anybody if you guys want to see Mario Party still some more. Definitely can bring Mario Party back. We'll bring Mario Party back if you want it. But for right now, Mario Party's done. If you want more episodes of Mario Party, let me know and I'll bring it back. So, to replace those two, I'm going to be firing up Fire Red, which was the very first Pokemon game I ever played. I have never played Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Crystal, or Red, Silver. That's it. Red, RG, RBY, Red, Blue, Yellow, GSC, Gold, Silver, Crystal. I haven't played those 6 games ever. I will be playing them on the channel at some point, so you guys can see my first run-through Gen 1. But I'm going to start up a Fire Red, Leaf Green Let's Play. It'll be Fire Red is the version I have. That will be starting Wednesday, right after the PCF Team Builder. You'll see the night video will be Fire Red. We'll be starting our journey through Kanto. But we're going back to Kanto, just not Let's Go. Fire Red was the very first game I ever played. That's the game I'm gonna play. Hopefully it does better than Let's Go, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching the nostalgia of me playing Fire Red. And then the other game that's going to replace Mario, because I want to keep a Pokemon game and a Mario game going, and then an extra game, which is currently Smash, is going to be Super Mario Galaxy. I'm going to play through Mario Galaxy. I've never beaten Mario Galaxy. So we're going to play that. Hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. But that's it. That's the little housekeeping I wanted to throw out here. I'm going to get this video wrapped up here and loaded. And then, actually, the last thing. So how the schedule will now work. Monday is APA Team Builder in the morning. Smash in the evening. Tuesdays will be the APA match. Tuesday nights are going to be the WWC weekly recaps, your power rankings, your pick'ems, your transaction discussion, and your kill leader discussion. So check that, look for that tomorrow. That'll be WWC recap or post-draft power rankings and week 1 pick'ems. Wednesday will be PCF Team Builder in the morning, Fire Red in the night. Thursday will be PCF Match, Galaxy in the night. Friday will be WWC Team Builder, Smash in the night. Saturday will be WWC Match, Fire Red in the night. And then Sunday will be Super Mario Galaxy in the morning. And then I will be firing up stream at some point during Sunday. So there's your schedule. That's it. That was kind of like, this is the recap plus a little note that I needed to get in there. I'm going to get out of here. See you guys in the next one. Check out all the links in the description down below. Help me get to 50 followers on Twitch. We're at 41 right now, 9 more to go. Help me get, join the Weather Gamer Discord if you want to hang out with me. And then follow me on Facebook. Or not Facebook. I don't have my Facebook down there. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see when I go live, if you don't want to follow me on Twitch. With that, I'm going to get out of here. See you guys later.